to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
I saw Rosenberg get exhausted with the ranking, a ranking of people. Annoyed by it. You know, he's a ranker.
He is a ranker.
He's the ranker. Everything's got a ranking. He loves a ranking.
Rosenberg ranking.
Rosenberg ranking in the place.
He lives for the ranking.
He lives for the ranking.
He loves it.
And ESPN just put out a new greatest NBA players all time, right?
Yeah, well, I think they were going to do a big one next year for 75 years. So they did 74 because it's been 74 years and people need content. So 74 it is.
And at number 10, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 9, Kobe Bryant. 8, Tim Duncan. 7, Larry Bird. 6, Wilt Chamberlain. 5, Magic Johnson. 4, Bill Russell. 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 2, LeBron James. And number 1, his airness, Michael Jordan. I don't have a problem with this list. I mean, maybe you could shuffle here and there.
It's not. I don't have.
Why was Kobe so number 9?
There's just not a lot of room to move up higher. I mean,
It's tough, man.
I would argue that maybe you could put Kobe up 2 spots and like replace Bird with Kobe, maybe, but that's like very iffy and difficult.
Then the other part, Laura
What is it
Stiles,
based on?
It's based on points.
Nothing.
Points, chips, impact.
How do you guys feel about LeBron at number 2?
That was a big
I mean,
a lot of people had
stats-wise,
words.
LeBron ahead of Wilt and Kareem. It's tough, man.
It's
super tough.
And I feel like I almost feel like Kobe. Not to say Kobe should be higher, but I feel like Kobe should be closer to LeBron than he is on this list.
I hear what you're
now,
saying.
how do you get there? I don't know how you
That's
get
the hard
there.
part,
You know what I'm
right?
saying?
That's the hard part.
Yeah, I don't. Kobe being that far back from LeBron does feel a little crazy, but
But it's not like you're talking about fractions when you're talking about this top 10.
right.
You're talking about, I mean, yes, the ranking looks a lot different, but yet, this is the greatest in the world, greatest we've ever seen. You're talking about fractions of differences. And the distance between Kobe and LeBron on this list looks like a lot, but in reality, when you get down to the stats, it ain't. It ain't. It just isn't. The difference between LeBron and Kareem, the different, Michael Jordan and
It's also about how you see players because their top 10, half of it's big men. It's a very big man heavy list. And there are a lot of people like fans who we don't rank big men as high because the way they play the game doesn't excite you the same way.
But their stats are crazy. Stats
crazy.
and chips and impact on the team and a lot of big men also, if you notice on this list, had long runs. They were durable.
Yeah. Also, I'll tell you, when he gets outside of that top 10, I don't know how I feel about Steph and KD at 13 and 14. Steph is not the 13th greatest player of all time, guys. I'm sorry, he's not. He's super dope, and he's transformative. He's changed the game.
Yes,
he's amazing.
But maybe that's why they ranked him higher. Plus, you throw what you just said plus chips.
I hear you. That's tough for me.
And how many players are a part of franchises, legacy?
Well, and he's the anchor of it, anchor of a legacy that great. I hear you. It's just, but in your mind, in
Steph
Curry's
my mind,
not the 13th greatest
I
player.
wouldn't have put him there. But now that we're talking about it, and the way he's changed the game.
And by the way, Pippen being ahead of Barkley is an absolute joke. Absolute joke to me. I'm sorry. Pippen's amazing. Nope.
Barkley,
not when you had it by yourself. You were cool by yourself. You were cool. Charles Barkley literally was an absolute stud his entire career. Brought the Suns to the within inches of winning a championship.
Yeah.
And his numbers are so much better than Scotty's.
Chuck gets two championships. He might crack the top 10.
Yes, exactly. Chuck has a ring or two. He's up there at 12,
I
11.
agree with that, but guess what? He don't.
Yep.
But how many does Scotty have without the greatest player who ever lived?
Right, but is the greatest player who ever lived the greatest player who ever lived without Scotty?
Honestly, you want me to answer?
Facts.
Yes.
I think so. I think the answer is yes, but would he have been as great? He had a guy, Jordan had the luxury of having a guy who was so humble and so just wanting to be on a team and be a part of something great. Scottie Pippen was just, I mean, even when you watch the Last Dance and you're talking about this guy who just never even got paid.
I'm going to go ahead and say that without Scottie Pippen, Jordan might be Barkley.
That's a stretch.
I don't think he wins. You think he wins that many? Think about it.
Not that many, but he's getting 3. He's getting 3 or 4.
3?
Yeah.
Because he still has
I
a squad.
don't know about that, bro.
still
He
had
would
a
have found
squad.
someone else. And the magic of Jordan at a certain point, and they
Listen,
talk
but you
about it
got-
in The Last Dance, the magic of Jordan at a certain point was that Jordan was defensively solid
Solid.
So it's
Incredible.
Listen,
and led the
that-
league.
Don't forget though, that year that Jordan didn't play and Scottie did. Scottie had an MVP type season.
Yeah, and then he got to the playoffs and was
And
baby.
fell
Yeah.
apart and bailed.
Of course, yeah, but that just to show you that he could carry a team.
He could.
Not
He just
everybody
couldn't
could
win.
do that.
He
But,
couldn't
like,
win.
To have a
Jordan
player
could
like
win,
that
though.
on your side.
I agree with you,
Yeah, but-
Cass, but Jordan could win.
Yeah, and
I get it.
he carried teams somewhat far in Portland and Houston,
Yeah, no,
but not the same way.
no, of course not. He's not Jordan. I'm not saying he's that. I'm just saying that caliber of a player to have the luxury to play with somebody of that caliber.
I'll tell
Take
you
him
this right now.
away.
I'll tell you this
It's
right
tough.
now. Scotty is a great player. Let me tell you, Ebro, some of the names he's ahead of, okay? He's at 21. Behind him, Elgin Baylor, Charles Barkley, David Robinson, Kawhi Leonard, Dwayne Wade, Giannis Antetokounmpo, John Stockton, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, Isaiah Thomas is 10 behind Pippen, James
getting
Harden,
crazy.
John
It's getting
Havlicek.
crazy.
I mean, these are great. Jason Kidd, all behind Pippen.
Kidd.
It's tough.
Yeah, I
man.
mean, I see why they are, though. Many of them. The Barkley one, I agree with you on. But, it's tough when Pippen got those chips, and he is a part of the Jordan,
But Isaiah
Jordan and Pippen.
Isaiah was
got
the
back-to-back.
Isaiah.
back to back, and he was the lead player.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. 10 spots. Who made this list? Jordan?
Well,
How tall was Isaiah?
Jordan might have made that call like he made other calls.
Exactly.
He was
Isaiah was like
"Yo,
6'1".
you see this Last Dance documentary getting you all these ratings? Make sure this list is right. I want Isaiah way in the back.
Well, that's
You
and,
know
and that's
the drill.
And that's one of the things. That's one of the things we haven't talked about when it comes
You
to.
know the drill with Isaiah. Don't have him nowhere near.
But that's
nothing.
that's one of the
Put him
interesting
behind
things
Pippen.
about the doc is that people are taking it in such different ways. I find it, to me, what I'm loving the most about it is that I didn't realize how complicated Jordan was. He's such an interesting person. But, man, there are people who come away just being like, I love Jordan, man. I really relate to him. And I'm like, this man's a psychopath, a bona fide psychopath.
Yo, I saw myself in Jordan.
Well,
Bona
guess
fide
what?
psychopath.
You're a psychopath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or you think of yourself as a psychopath because you're not actually. That's what people say. They say, I see myself. And I'm like, well, I see you in real life. Guess what? You're not.
Right, but I see where if I'm not, I got a great team and I got a great family and I come from a different, I'm not going to let myself go all the way off like Michael Jordan did in many cases in his life.
Again, that's the
but-
being a good person part.
Right. But in Michael Jordan's case, that's what carried him to greatness.
Yeah, that's
And
what makes
maybe
it-
that's why I still work with you, ne'er-do-wells, at Hot 97.
That's-
You know what I'm saying? And it's not all about money for me. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So there are things that prohibit you from getting to that next level, which sometimes it's greed and being a psychopath.
Well, yeah, in his case,
Being
what
on
made
that
him a
court.
great professional hindered him as a human being.
Right.
You could tell he's still hindered as a human being. Let's just keep it real. If you're watching this, Michael Jordan's sitting there getting drunk during every interview, struggling to deal with real live emotions, clearly is an addict, an addict who's been in pain, in my opinion, for a very long time. Gambling addiction, probably drinking. To me, Jordan, he's incredible because he was a perfect athlete and just such an unbelievably flawed man. And that's what makes the doc to me interesting.
But my point is to get to some of those levels, the things you have to abandon in your humanity to get to some of these levels, if you want it. Look at all of the greats. All
Every
of them.
single one of them, yeah.
All of them got flaws that you would be like, fam, I would have never did that. But they did it because they wanted it more than you.
Well, and and
Dynamite.
they wanted it more than other things in life that other people view as important.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like being a good person.
That's right.
Treating people well.
Yes.
Having
Yeah.
loving relationships with people.
Yes.
So, that's why we always talk about this. That's why LeBron is a better human being than Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan was like, look, I got my mama and I got basketball. I lost my father that hurt because remember, he had his mom and his dad through a lot of his life.
Through half the championships.
Yeah. And then when he lost his dad, he took a break. And
what
he
is
came
having-
back. He came back probably because of what you're talking about. Because he felt there was a hole.
And
And he wanted to fill that hole, which was really the pain of his dad and other pain.
Oh, no, but he was trying to fill that hole when his dad was alive. Because remember, the gambling addiction was raging out of control when his dad was around.
His dad was with him.
Yeah, sometimes
They went together. That was family fun.
At times. His dad now, but also there's so many layers to it. Because remember, you mentioned his mom. However, when his mom reached out and said, hey, we're going to support this black man who's running for Congress against the most evil white congressman who's ever lived, Jesse Helms. I'm going to be in the commercial. I'm endorsing him. Jordan said, Mom, you go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a private donation, but Republicans buy sneakers too.
Yeah, I'm getting this money.
So,
Money's on the top of the list. I ain't going to hurt this bread.
Yeah. So it's a mixed bag for me when I watch this special of incredible player and some decisions as a person that I'm just like, wow, it's interesting.